refresh and find out. Big welcome to anyone who's watching already, wherever you're watching from. All right, we're live. Let's just get into it, shall we? Here we go. Welcome everyone on Facebook. Welcome to the journos. Thanks for joining us. It's the NTI Townsville SuperSprint post-race press conference. I'm going to be throwing some questions in from the journalists and then opening it up to the fans on Facebook. Well done, Jamie Whincup, another win on the streets of Townsville. Cam Waters, Chaz Mostert joining us as well, which is really, really cool. I'll start with the journalists, and this one actually comes from Matt Elkerton from the Townsville Bulletin. I'm guessing this is directed to you, Jamie. What is it about Townsville that helps you go to another gear? It's been a friendly track to you and to Triple A.
Yeah, we've had some results here in the past, which is great, and we rolled the car out of the truck this weekend, and she wasn't too flash, so I was a little bit nervous about our performance, but we took a big swing before qualifying and got the car back in the window, and improved it for the shootout, and it was pretty speedy in the race. So there's nothing in particular, I enjoyed the circuit. I enjoy the place. The locals are friendly. It's almost like a home. It's a home event as far as it's Queensland. It's in the state of Queensland. So it's great to be able to perform at your best when you come up here.
Is there anything in particular? I know you said then that there's nothing you can really put your finger on, but does it suit your driving style or your ability to qualify? Is there one thing, curbs? Is there anything out there that really suits you?
I think back in the day we used to have good dampening, so it was quite nice over the curbs, and that was sort of a strength of our car, and we got a lot of results from that. But now with the same dampers and the same car setup with most cars, that's all gone away. But no, there's nothing in particular, and it's just I like around here, and just go hard like usual.
Wind, it seemed to be pretty breezy up there. Jamie, I'll start with you on this one. Did you feel it in the car at all?
Yeah, normally we come here in don't quote me, but June, July, I think maybe.
Early July. Yep.
Early July, yep. And the weather's good and it's hardly any wind. But this weekend, the wind's up, which is sort of making it feel a little bit cooler than when we're here in July. Massive tailwind down the main straight into turn 2. So we just had to keep our eye on that for most of the day.
Cam, good job from you today, mate. Did you notice the difference in conditions to normal?
Not really. I think the wind obviously did affect the cars, but because the wind direction and strength was the same pretty well the whole day, the cars were doing a similar thing at the different corners. So, probably didn't really experience too much differences. We're probably quicker than we were here last year. So, overall, we're going faster.
And just to close that loop, Chaz, certainly better than driving around in the rain there, I guess, as we've had before, but the windy conditions were something new.
I'd probably disagree about the rain. I quite like it.
Yeah, you went well last year.
But, look, it's wind has been the talking point today. A big tailwind into one. It's I don't know. It's no different. You get a gain somewhere and a loss somewhere else, but it's the same for everyone. So,
Jamie, could you talk us through the strategy around the tyres that you took on in your pit stop, and do you think that'll affect play for you tomorrow?
I want to stop mid-race and put 2 tyres on, but Chaz decided to get all aggressive on us and go early and put 4 on, so which forced us in early and put 3, and then Cam sort of returned served, and he was the quickest car at the end of the race. So us 3 went pretty aggressive. I think there's plenty of other cars that also did 3 and 4, so we're not too disadvantaged tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But in this type of racing, you got to grab the points when you can. So I think it was a good call for us to do 3.
I'll go to Simon Chapman, speedcafe.com. For Cameron, at Hidden Valley Raceway, you said your 1-lap qualifying pace was good, but the race pace had been lacking. Do you feel like you and the team have overcome that with your second podium, or second to third place of the season so far? Got up to second in the end, but with back-to-back podiums at least. Is the race pace better?
There's definitely some areas that we've been working on to try and fix the the race pace stuff. And this weekend, it's a little bit different because it's a street track and, much different circuit compared to the SMP in Darwin, where we're struggling one thing in particular. But overall, I think today our race pace was very strong. Tyre life was much better than we would have had the last few rounds. So that was really promising. It's something we've been chasing for a little while. I still think we need to find a little bit more, but it's nice to be able to throw some stuff at the car and have it respond. And obviously today we rolled it out and it was strong from the get-go, which is nice. Our hard work that we're putting in between the races and the homework we're doing is paying off.
Is that strictly engineering, or is there a little bit of driver in that as well? Are you changing anything that you're doing to get that better tyre life?
A lot of it is just engineering and car setup, and I'm trying to do everything I can to help it, but there's only probably so much you can do in the driver's seat with it. So I think once you have the car doing what it needs, it's easier to help it as well. So it's kind of a win-win.
Yeah, right. For Chaz, this second podium with Walkinshaw and Andretti United feels like it's been a long time coming. What worked particularly well today to allow you to achieve that? So what's been the biggest difference today over the last few rounds?
I think the first thing is qualifying position. I think our one lap pace is probably a bit opposite to what Cam has had, but our one lap pace has been pretty weak the last couple of rounds, and just really trying to fine tune our car and find a base with it. So we really got ourselves into contention today. We're starting in the front two rows. This weekend, we're a fair bit different running the car than what we normally would. And we probably hurt our race pace a little bit today. So, we'll try the best of both worlds tomorrow, see if we can learn something. The hardest part for us with a new combination with driver and team, we just haven't had a lot of time to learn what equipment we have under us. So for me and Adam, it's about treating each race almost as a test day at the moment. We're trying a lot of things that we would normally be nervous to try, but the way this year has panned out, we have to use this as trying and building year into next year. So we really need to take these opportunities to be aggressive.
Everyone always says the Walkinshaw cars go really well on street circuits. You've driven on a couple of street circuits and a couple of permanent circuits. Have you noticed that strength?
Yeah, for sure. I think, Adelaide was pretty good at the start of the year, but, the car we rolled around today in the race was night and day different than what we had at Adelaide at the start of the year as well. So, it seems to be the trend that keeps following this team. They're quite strong on street circuits, and I think we just want to try and be strong everywhere. But other than the last Darwin round, I think we've been in consistent top 5 car for points for most rounds. So I think we've been good across a lot of them. But today we just really got ourselves into contention with a good starting position.
I'll move back to Jamie here. This is still from Simon Chapman, Speed Cafe. Can you explain what happened after the race, which saw you park on the front straight? It's funny, a week ago, you were having trouble knowing when the race was starting, and you're having trouble knowing when the race is finishing. Not having much luck.
Troubles with the race starting? What was that?
Remember you had the issue with the starting lights in Darwin? It was a bit freaky.
Oh, yeah. We went a bit early there. I didn't have comms from about lap 15 in the race, so I was sort of flying blind all the way to the end there. And I was looking at the flag marshal or the starting box every lap from 10 to go, thinking it's one more. No, it's one more. And then what was the last lap? The flag marshal he had the flag in his hand, and then he was having a chat to his mate, and the flag never come out. And I had no comms to say it was the end of the race. And the only thing that was in my head was my father saying, "Don't keep racing until you see the checkered flag. Don't stop until you see the checkered flag." So anyway, finally got the checkered flag the next lap, which was apparently lap 40, a lap too many. And then I still had no comms, so I just took a bit of a guess. I remember the procedure changing. I remember Darwin 1, we were in pit lane. There was a bit of an uproar about COVID and whatnot, so they changed it to out on the track, away from as many people as possible. So that was in my head. So I thought it must be on the grid again. That's the new norm. But they decided to change it back to in pit lane. So no doubt I'll probably get a fine for it or something. But whatever. That's there's not much we can do. You just got to do your thing and see what happens.
So, first of all, do we have any idea what caused the radio issue? Or luck?
No, we don't. Not yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it for sure.
And second part to that is, at what point did they realise that you couldn't hear them? And is there anything that you would try and fix for next time to make sure that you get a pit board to say how many laps are left or something like that?
Yeah, that's a disappointing thing. We didn't realise, or Catchy didn't realise until I was basically going flat out on the lap after the finish that I didn't have comms, So we should have picked that up much earlier. Like we've done 20 laps or so, 25 laps without comms, you know what I mean? And so that's a disappointing bit. That's what we'll debrief tonight and make sure that we do a better job of that tomorrow.
Has the boss had a good day? He was out there ragging some machinery.
Yeah,
have you heard him from him much?
He's had a crack. Yeah, he's had a crack day. He's walking around with a smile on his face. He was happy days. Normally he'd be pretty angry at us for making a mistake at the end there. But he's had his Camaro out there cutting laps. He was P1 in one of the sessions. Got 300 more horsepower than everyone else. But no. Him and Paul Morris are having a good laugh together. They're cutting laps and good on him. I reckon if I was his age with that much money, I'd be just cruising around the country cutting laps in nice cars as well.
I love it. I'll get to the fan questions on Facebook in just a sec. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, throw me some questions. I'll go back to Chaz for a second. Not from one of the journos, but more so a thing that's been developing across the stretch so far. Is you working with Bryce? I remember you telling me at the press conference in Adelaide how much you enjoyed working with him and maybe taking on a mentorship role. How's that advanced half a season later?
He's a terrible kid. He's so bad. He actually just walked in the truck. He's a ripper young bloke. He's got great talent. He's got a big future in this sport. So I was very lucky enough when I first came into being a supercar driver that I had an awesome guy alongside me like Mark Winterbottom in my second year, and even the first year when I was a DJR. A guy like that. So I'm getting a bit longer in the tooth now. Not quite as old as Jamie. He's quite ancient, but I'm getting along in there. So it's just awesome to be able to just try and help out a young guy. You want to see them succeed because they've got the talent. You just want to try and help, shortcut their progression and say, the mistakes I had to learn or anything like that. And definitely why you got an awesome young teammate like that you want to see do well. So I don't know what happened to Cam. Maybe we were just a bit too close. 1 year or 2 years age difference. It just didn't quite work out the same. To be honest, he probably knew a lot more than me anyway. So, it's working well here.
Did you have any advice for Bryce before the shootout, for example, any last minute pointers for something that he might not be too experienced in?
I think every rookie in their first year, when you get into a shootout position or anything like that, you get quite excited and you feel a little bit out of place while you're still learning things. So just to back himself, he obviously knows how to drive. He's a very fast driver, and the car's obviously responding well this weekend as well. So back yourself. You never know where you're going to end up. You might be even up in the front 2 rows or even on the front.
Last one from Dan Herrero. One for Chaz. When is the first win with Walkinshaw and Andretti United coming?
See you, mate.
I've lost you, buddy. This is the perfect frame for Chaz to just lock up on that question. All right, I'll move to Jamie while he's having to think about that. Jamie, what do you make of McLaughlin's recovery today? Has he demonstrated he can be caught or that he can't be caught? That's an interesting way of putting it. What did you make of Scotty's recovery drive?
I haven't seen anything that's happened behind me. I haven't watched the replay yet. So, I can't comment on something I haven't seen.
How about after he missed the shootout, you always obviously get a ton of reporters and people coming up to you going, is this the moment you make some championship points back? Are you able to just put all that out of your head and just go on and do your job? Or do you think about it as, wow, this is my chance?
No, we're just doing our job like we always do. And, Car 17 will do their job, so no, we don't. I actually don't know what happened. I don't know if we wasn't quick enough or we had a failure or tried to save tyres. I don't know. So, but no, that they didn't have as good a day as they would have liked for their standard. We had a very good day. So no doubt, like the true champions they are, they'll fight back tomorrow. So yeah, we just got to be on our game.
I've got some fan questions to get to. Unfortunately, one of them was directed at Chaz, so we'll have to email him. From Rebecca McDonald, this is a funny one. Chaz and Cam, do you two actually like each other? Because obviously you've got so many famous moments on track, but you guys have also been on holidays together and spent a lot of time together. What's the relationship like off the track?
Yeah, I guess we are pretty good mates, and as he comes back on the call, but yeah, we are good mates, and
he's back. We're just talking about you, Chaz.
Yeah, we're just talking about you, mate. We obviously drove together in 2015, and yeah, I guess kind of learnt a lot from Chaz in that year and through the Dunlop series and whatnot. So yeah, we've got a pretty good relationship in that way. We put it all aside when we get in the race cars, and we manage to step over the line occasionally. But we have had some bad moments, but we actually have had a lot of good racing battles as well. So it isn't all bad. Unfortunately, everyone only remember the bad moments and not the good ones. But yeah, it is what it is. He's not a bad bloke sometimes.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thanks, mate.
It's all right.
I saw your old Super 2 championship winning car running around in the Townsville tin tops today. I thought that was nice. Last one from Peter Turnbull.
It's got the signature on the dash.
The dash. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want that car back. I wonder if I'd sell it to me cheap.
Make him an offer. See if you can drive it tomorrow. Last one, Peter Turnbull. Chaz, you've driven the Holden and the Mustang now around Townsville. What's the biggest difference between the Mustang and your current drive?
It's more the team stuff that's the biggest difference this year for me. I think both platforms are super close out there this year. But yeah, just more the team stuff is the biggest fundamental issue, not issue, but differences. So it's just learning that package for us, and the new package has strengths, it also has weaknesses, and trying to say where I've come from, bring the strengths that where I have came from into this car as well. I think we can move forward with that. So as a manufacturer type thing, I mean, there's not really a lot of traditional parts still left in these supercars. So, there's nothing really different from last year to this year, except just the current philosophy in our team. Just
to finish it off, mate, we've got a few people asking online and journos as well. Is there a win in that car at Walkinshaw and Andretti United? Where do you think it may come?
Look, it's this year's tough. It's so tough for us. I don't want to rule this year out because you never know where you're going to go. But we're trying some pretty big things at the moment, and I think we're obviously learning along the way. I'm not too sure. I'd love to say yes at this and in the near future, but I'll just try to let the results speak for itself. We just got to keep knuckling down, learning from mistakes and learn from trying things in our car, and also try and develop it too. I still think there's still a lot of room to improve there. So, I'd like to let the work do the speaking.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks to everyone watching on Facebook. Thanks for the questions. Have a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Cheers.
Thanks, gang.
Bye.
Bye.